let's start with just run me through like current position. Like run me through, I know you've already sent it on Instagram, but like run me through current offers.
Yep.
And who you're selling to and what the transformation process, like what the offer delivers.
So before I joined the university, my offer was literally just coaching.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get you in shape. And it didn't matter. Like, I wasn't speaking to one person through my Instagram. So I've got lads that could be fucking 18, or I've got lads who could be 40. Like, both doing different jobs, both wanting different things.
Yeah. So it was kind of just like a fitness offer, just anyone who wants to get in shape.
And it wasn't even like, say right now, obviously building the offer through the university. It's like, this is what we're going to do. This is the transformation. And it's not just like some generic offer, like lose 10 kilos in 90 days.
Yeah.
It's actually the transformation of, right, become undeniable across the board, for example.
Yeah, so almost more like that. Have you seen the video where with the offers, it kind of goes like what they achieve, how you do it, and then what they get? Because I know the one you sent over initially, it was just the offer like just image.
Features.
It was just features like here's what you get, which is like the mistake everyone does. Like everyone, my old offers all used to be that. Like it's what people get taught. Like this is what you get. But then when you just say you get a nutrition plan, a training plan, a weekly check-in, a community call, or whatever, and you go, I'm 400, I'm 300, I'm 200. And then everyone's just like, oh, this guy does fitness, he's 300. That's the same as everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really speak uniquely to people. So you just put yourself in a market of everybody and then comparison. Oh, I'm going to chat with a few other coaches and you just really get into like a price war. The easiest way to never be in a price war is like have something that only you possess.
Yeah.
It's like, if you were the only person, it's like a monopoly, right? Like, let's say there's 3 companies that all sell gold. And then there's 100 companies that all sell, well, the cheapest person is like, everyone's gonna go there, right? Whereas what you wanna do is you almost wanna, if you were that, you'd wanna buy all these companies and now you can create the price for gold because you have total demand. No one can get it anywhere else. So you can be like, oh, well, instead of 5K, it's now 20K a kilo.
Yeah.
When you build around yourself, that's what you do. So like when you're speaking from your authenticity, no one can get that anywhere else. And they either don't fuck with it, fine. But if they fuck with it, they'll pay whatever they need to pay. Like your prime example, you paid and we didn't have a conversation prior, you just bought it, right?
Yeah.
So that's psychology. One thing I always tell people to do as well, as a bit of an experiment, is just whenever you've bought, and try and like build this into your mindset all the time. Like whenever you buy things, why did you buy it from there? So this could be as simple as when you bought from me and you just went online onto my website and bought. What was going on in the mind? What created that action? What did you perceive to be true? And then if you go through in the content, the belief systems, right, they're all just ticked off in terms of you understand that my offer will help you get what you really want, which is like more financial freedom, more location freedom, more like actual autonomy and internal alignment, like building it how you want. And then the outcome of my offer is, and then it felt like the most aligned path to doing it. And then you trusted me, you saw me as an authority in what I was teaching because I've already done what I'm teaching. And then really all that needs to happen from there is there's no internal objections. Then, because people could understand all that and still not have gone today. There could be, let's say, 1,000 people out there right now who are like, I know Tom's gonna get me exactly what I want. I know he's the guy. They still haven't bought. And the reason behind that is like false beliefs, mindset, like is incongruent with action. So then there has to be within content, those beliefs just handled. The best way to handle them is just speak your mental syntax. If your audience had your mindset, they'll eventually come through. And some people are very fast with that. Some people kind of just soak in very fast, and some people take 2 years. Your job isn't to force them, it's just to keep consistently giving it out. And if this is why YouTube's so powerful, because if someone can just be soaking your mental syntax, your voice, your beliefs, your way of doing things, and they watch you for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and now they're thinking like you, it's already done at that point.
That's the biggest thing. Getting them to think the same way you think. Because before I would have been like, oh no, I can't fucking say that.
Yeah.
But even say when you said, no man, that was good content, and underneath the comments were like, you can't fucking say this.
But the people who say you can't say this are the people that would have never bought.
Yeah.
And you have to, this is good you brought this up. So with social media, you've almost got to be like, let's say there's one guy you want to speak to. Now there can be 10 guys who are like similar, but they're still attracted to it. But like in your head, you're just speaking to one guy. You don't even have to name him out loud. You don't have to say, you're a 24-year-old this, because then you niche yourself too much. But you just speak to him. It's like, tell me you've got a girlfriend without telling me you've got a girlfriend. If I said to you, sorry man, I can't come out tonight, I've got to stay in your head, you're like, this guy's got a girlfriend.
Yeah. Right?
Your communication and content can be like that just by how you're speaking, how you're articulating it. They know it's for them. It's like if I don't have to keep calling you Dean, right, in this conversation for you to know I'm speaking to you. And I don't have to keep saying your age, and I don't have to do that, but just by how much I'm speaking to where your mind is, you know it's for you. That's what your content needs to be like. And then you got to ignore every other 2 million categories of people as if they're not there. Almost like imagine your whole following is just that. And that's when people will move. But you've got to have the mindset to like not give a fuck. Like for me, like I've done a big shift of it was fitness and it was high performance. Now I'm teaching people how to make 100K a month. Yeah. Like there's a lot of people who aren't ready to soak that in. I've just got to, well, maybe there's 500 guys who are, and I've just got to speak at 500 out of 50 odd thousand. Yeah. And your message doesn't need to be for everybody, but it'll hit them. Yeah, big time. Because even say if you had a reel up, you had one up there the last day, or maybe it was a while ago, and it was you up on the roof, being like, if you ever have limiting beliefs, here's an experiment I want you to do. Yeah. Go say to your missus everything to drown about. Otherwise, get a big red marker right up on the board. I am fucking gay. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I think. And like and you know what? Like when I'm speaking to clients, and they go, "Man, I just don't know if I believe in myself." I go, "You're gay, bro. Like just fucking check yourself." Yeah. And that's how I genuinely speak, because that's how I would have checked myself. And I think one thing that's kind of like gives you a lot of peace is understanding that your mental syntax, it's unique, but we're all humans. Yeah. Like I would say, if you can speak you can be the voice for what other people's soul knows to be true, but they haven't yet articulated and thought out loud. Yes, you're going to find some controversy, but you're going to actually hit home really hard with people. So if I'm like, someone's being a little bitch and they're like, I just don't want to post this, because I'm like, that's just fucking gay, bro. Just grow up. Yeah. Right? I also know that other guys are kind of craving and knowing that, but they just might not have spoken it. So if I can just speak what they're like, I guess that's true. And that's kind of why, like, when you started speaking your mind and you were saying really authentic shit, that hits me. I'm like, I know that to be true. And your audience are looking for a voice, like a leader, to just speak truth. That they intrinsically, think about like why Tate did so well. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Because all he did, everything he says is just pure truth from his heart on, we all know and we all think and we all understand deep down that it's truth, but our minds have been programmed all of this. But that's why I always say, people sometimes take it too deep. I'm like, it's just truth. Like, you just speak from your soul, speak from your heart on like what your body already knows to be true, rather than what we think we can say. And I think that's how you got to build a brand. I think the reason I wasn't doing that is because, say, when I was going through all these coaching, education courses, do you know the message is you have to meet people where they're at and like bring them up nice and slowly and start celebrating these small wins. But at the time I was like, if I paid someone to coach me, I'd be like, bro, I want to be the fucking best. Can you just bring me there quickly? Don't be doing any of this fucking baby shit. Yeah. And your job as a coach isn't to like be the nice guy. Like you can still be nice.
Yeah.
But you just got to call people out because like you're doing people, if you genuinely want to help people, right? You're doing someone an injustice to go, yeah, you're doing good. Just keep eating the fucking fries every fucking lunch. Stop being a fucking bitch. Put them down. You know, like just what is your mind? Like your mind is thinking things to have the result you have. Give it them. And this is why, like years ago, when I went from like the generic tipsy stuff, and then all I was kind of doing was like, I was just posting a lot more of like physique, lifestyle outcomes. People almost thought like, oh, this guy's not really a coach anymore. He stopped coaching.
Yeah.
That's what like people's false beliefs were.
That
like,
was my false belief as well.
Yeah. But then my reels, when I was speaking or when I was on YouTube, people almost were like, all you talk about is mindset, bro. And I'm like, mindset makes people move, right? So you can be perceived like a lot of the stuff you're going to be talking about is mindset, right? If you just keep telling someone this is how you train your biceps, that's a part of some of the content, right? But just telling someone how to train a bicep, where does that create a sale? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Like nowhere. May that install a belief that you're an expert and you're an authority in fitness. Yeah, like that's why I'm big on like, I do give value away. That's advice because that's what shows that you're a leader in it. But like, that's not what converts. That's like one of the 10 pieces. Whereas people just do that. Whereas the mindset around belief systems and syntax is what's really going to do it. So like you got in great shape and like, why? What did you want? Like if I ask you, why did you just lock in, hit the gym every day, start hitting your macros, just take everything so seriously? Why? It was probably because you wanted the fucking best chick. You wanted to be respected. You want to be in the room with certain people. You wanted to just have total clarity on where you were going and that you've got like this internal competence that you could do whatever you want to do. Well, that's what you're selling. That's the desire. Like that's what your audience also want. We'll talk about this, but your audience don't necessarily just need to be shouted. Just get in shape. They need to understand that they need to get in shape for the things that they want, which may have been even subconscious for you at the time, but you went to get in shape and you locked in probably because a fucking girl left you or you got rejected by a girl or you were like, oh my God, I saw a guy with a fitter chick and now I should level myself. But whatever it were, something happened and it was the desire that caused the precursor. And then once you understood that you needed this solution, then the mechanism to doing it, you were like, right, which one feels like it's going to be the best, the fastest, the most aligned? So let's go in on ICP, right? You said like before there weren't too much clarity with like ICP, but like who do you actually, there's no right and wrong. Who do you actually want to speak to? So like, for example, this can be any line. Let's say now you're here and then there's all of this desire. Let's say up here. Like, who is the guy? If we were to just go, right, this is how I come to clarity on this, by the way. It's a little bit vague just saying, oh, it's an old version of myself. Can be, right? And they're gonna have common tendencies with an old version of yourself. But when I'm trying to find clarity in an ICP, there's a few things that I look for. One is like their current position, right? And with that is like, relative to the outcome of your offer, like where are they? Like with you, with a physique transformation, like where actually are they in that? So that may be like the reality, job, fitness status, positive traits, flaws, mistakes they're making. I'd also look at like, what is their mental syntax? Like, what's their current belief systems, right? And also, what's their level of awareness? By awareness, like market awareness. Are they aware yet that, oh my God, if I get in great shape, outcome, it's going to allow me to get this stuff? Or are they not aware yet? Because depending on that, so if the ratio on the type of content you're going to make is going to differ. For example, if your audience are already like hitting the gym every day, they've, let's say, gone in crazy shape before, then they've lost it, then they've gone in crazy shape, then they've lost it, and they're already in the mind like, I just need to be lean all year and I need a system, a process where like it's just more of a lifestyle rather than like a get lean for a holiday, and they're already outwardly looking for a way to do that, they're already solution aware. Whereas let's say someone's like, no clarity, they're a bit lost, they feel like they're just hanging around with all the bums back at home, and they know they want autonomy, they know they want to be living in Bali, they know they want to have a more attractive partner, they know they want to have better mates that are more on a mission with all this stuff, but they're not quite sure, like they're probably typing into YouTube dating hacks. They're going straight to the desire rather than trying to fix the precursor. So I always used to say, like, you don't have a dating problem, you don't have a money problem, you've got a you problem. And I would make a video on, let's say, for my audience back in the day when they were just problem aware, I would be like, the fastest way to get the fucking girl of your dreams. Because they're looking for the desires, but they're not looking for how to get to 8% body fat, because they're not aware yet that that's what's going to do that. And then in that video, I'd introduce them to, hey, you need to stop looking at these fucking videos. In reality, you need to get in great shape. When I got in great shape, everything changed. Before that, fucking girls didn't like me. So we got to understand, it won't just be one, it's pretty much a ratio, but like, are your audience right now already seeking, like, I need to get in great shape, or are they not really looking for it?
Right now,
yeah,
they're in the position, say they're going to the gym a few days a week, might be like, oh yeah, I go train after work, but they're not getting the results. Like, they know,
cool,
they're in the position right now where they know they want to, say, get in better shape because they want to build their mindset, but they don't realize getting in shape is what's going to solve the problems. Do you know what I mean? Like, right now they're in a position where, like, oh yeah, well, I'm in a relationship, it's good, you know, like, I've got a decent job, but they don't realize
there's not enough necessity on why they're doing it for them to take it more seriously and invest harder.
Yeah.
But they're already aware of it, but not aware on like the full spectrum.
Yeah. They know there's a bit of a problem there, but they don't realize the potential that they could have if they fix this problem. They're just like, average, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, that's good, bro. So I would look at that then, like a 50-50 on content that you would do between solution aware, like actually content on how they're physically going to solve that. So I'll put here solution aware, problem aware. I'll run you through like what both of they look like. And then the other 50% is more talking on like what fitness will actually do and help them achieve and the pain it'll alleviate.
Say, like, just for some context, I've got one guy in there now, and when he joined, he was like doing fucking high rocks, going running in the gym, and he was like, I think I just have a small bit of body fat to come off. And now, so far, we've taken like 10 kilos off, and when I showed him the picture side by side, he's like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I had that much body fat. Like, people are giving me compliments now, it's a great boost for my ego. So they're like, they think in their mind, because they're going to the gym, I'm not doing too bad here actually, but then we actually give the transformation, they're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Good angle for you then here is just like a reality check. So like, you want to make a lot of content as well where you talk about like standards and proximity. I know you mentioned stuff like that before, but for you, if you even made to almost show them that, if you can show them that, like, look, they're hanging around with this type of guy, so that's their baseline.
Yeah.
So they're going to think, I always used to say this, right? I used to be like, look, I used to speak to someone a few years ago who was basically like the ICP where they're probably making 4, 5, 6 grand a month. Even 3, but high ego in a 9 to 5, probably 3, 4. But you know, like all guys intrinsically, they're like, I'm the best of my mates. Like, I'm the most like on it, even if they're not. Like, because we're guys, we all think like that. So I'd be like, look, I know you're better than your mates, but your mates are all a bunch of retards. So what does it really feel like being better than a bunch of retards? Like, actually, how would you feel right now if you flew out to Dubai and you were hanging around me and my 5 mates?
Yeah.
How good would you feel now, right? With your physique, with your mindset, with your fucking... They'd feel uncomfortable. And then I would be like, guys, you have to shift your proximity. You're never going to upgrade your life in that circle. Best way to upgrade the proximity is like they can literally just get in a room with you. But you've got to really show them visually. I always say, like, when you're speaking, great communicators really allow someone to mentally see the flaw in what they're doing or see the positive in what they could do. You've got to be very good at sharing stories you've gone through that awakened you on that, but then also like analogies. So you could be like, look, you know, you might want to, I understand you got big goals, right? But what do you think is going to be the best way to attack those goals? Do you think it's going to be you set off today on your fucking, in your nice Audi A3 or your A-Class and you're trying to get to Mars? Or do you think you'd be better off just fucking locking down for 6 months in the fucking warehouse, building yourself into a fucking rocket that then just gets there, while the other guy's trying for 50 years in the same vehicle and can't get, and now they're like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, I understand why that isn't happening, because no matter how far I drive this one, it's never going to get to that point.
Yeah.
And you got to think, like, just try and come up with all of these analogies that make it very clear, because a lot of it, you've already sold yourself on it. But you've got to think of really, the best way to sell is like, be able to turn the complexity into such simplicity and allow them to see it. So right now, current position, where would you say they are? I'm guessing they're males, right?
Yeah.
Males, how old are they, roughly?
Between 25 to 35.
Good age, yeah.
Just because I found anything younger than that, like say recently, like I got a lad of transformation and he's like 22, and then all his mates were inquiring, and say if I was like, it's 200 quid a month, they'd be like, oh.
Yeah, you don't want that. So this is actually important. I put here cash in the bank, right?
Yeah.
One thing when I'm designing my ICP that a lot of people miss, like they might get like, oh, it's this guy, he's in this position, like the stuff we talked about. But one thing that's really important is, let's say you're a master of marketing. Let's say I just cloned myself, right? And I was to have the same level of persuasion and sales psychology, but I was to speak at a group of people who were in the position and still wanted to get to where I could help them. And then the same, in that position, physically, mentally, income-wise, wanted that outcome still. This one didn't have any money and this one does. The same level of marketing, this business is going to grow, even with the concept being so potent, because like they just physically can't. Like if it's like, if you're trying to get 2K from someone to take them through a process, they don't have it. It doesn't matter how good you are at marketing. They won't. Yeah. They won't do it. Also, you got to think about with your offer is, think about this, right? Your transformation for 2 different people, you could take them through the same transformation. You could deliver the same value, but the impact and the worth is different to 2 different people. So if you take someone and you get like an 18-year-old shredded, in his head he's like, oh yeah, I might get like a bit more attention when I go out to the bar on Saturday. How much does he want to really pay for that? Probably not much, even if he had the money, right? Whereas what about the guy who's 25 who's like, fuck, I'm 25. I really want to start hitting my career hard and build something real by 30. I know I need to find the girl I want to be with and build a family in the next few years. Really need to start locking in now and be competent, actually start creating the life, because no one's going to come do it for me. And I understand that like I'm responsible for this. Well, you getting him in shape is priceless, because that's just changed the path and trajectory of his whole life. You took him through the same transformation, but mentally, it's serving more potent desires than the younger guy. Does it mean they're less important? No, but just let someone else make 50-pound programs for them. Just like, and you'll actually be more fulfilled when you're helping people get to the bigger things from the same transformation. And what's interesting is when you speak to those higher level, you can call them higher level, but just like more aware of bigger things it can bring them, you'll just be so much more filled. And the people who come in will go through the same transformation, right? But then will go, because that's part of your messaging, they will go and achieve those things. And then they then speak, when they give you a testimonial, they don't just say, yeah, he got me shredded, here's my photo.
Yeah.
They go, I got so lean, I understood like how much I was leaving on the table before, my relationships have improved, I make another 3K in my career now, not because he taught me business, just because like, I just leveled up who I am, my standards raised. I feel like, well, now that speaks back to the guy you want to speak to. And then now you're speaking to people all the time with your clients speaking back to them for you, with people that actually have the cash. And then you almost just have this business where there's no price objection ever.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Even that frame of mind, because let's say a good few of the lads that I'm coaching now, they are younger. So in my head, I'm there like, right, yeah, he's like 20% body fat. I'm going to get him down to 12. Yeah, he's going to, might have more success with women, but it's not like a massive pain point that I'm solving. So even just having that mindset shift of, this guy's fucking 25. He doesn't realize how good his life can be if he gets in shape and goes through this process.
Look at the life you live in.
Yeah.
You'll take it for granted now because you just live it. But we forget everyone's back in fucking Ireland and Manchester and Scotland and just driving around in the rain, just fucking depressed as fuck.
Yeah.
Like you actually fully forget, right? You wouldn't be here if you weren't in shape, if you didn't have good habits, if you weren't disciplined, you know? Like you wouldn't. So that's how big a deal it is. And that's what you want to help people with, 100%. Where would you say they're at then now, job-wise? What are they typically like? Are they out here? Or are they back at home? Are they working a 9 to 5? And here's one thing I'd quickly just say, based on what you just said there, like, you know, you've got some of these younger guys. Your whole business career, you're going to have different ICPs in your business. But what I would say is just speak marketing-wise to the ICP you want, right? So let's say right now you've got a couple of guys on this level, a couple of guys on this level. Maybe you've got one guy on this level, right? Well, just make all your messaging here. These guys will still listen.
Yeah.
These guys will still listen. This guy will listen now, for sure, and they just convert with no friction, right? It's actually more attractive now to them. It's more attractive for them. And your business just compounds. And I would say one client will change your life, not because they pay you money, but it changes your belief systems on what your message is.
Yeah.
So for example, a couple of years ago, I worked with a guy. Now I have many clients who are in this position. A couple of years ago, I worked with a guy on his business, and it's like a 20K client, and he'd built a multi 8-figure business, sold it, and it was like, I built and exited a company, and I just now want to show some people like who I became in that process to do that, and like I actually now just want to give that back. And this guy just goes, 20K, show me how to do it. No ego, like no ego. He was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Even though he's like fucking crazy success, it was just complete humility. I have no idea what I'm doing in this department. I'm really good here. I know I can give value to these people with this, but can you just show me how to build this so I can do this? 20K, and I was just like, so now like I'll speak to people who just have money, who are very competent people, but like you still, every single level below it, I still want to have doors where I can help them, and they'll still want to be helped. But it completely changes your mindset, whereas like at the beginning it's difficult because you've typically like, I always used to work with people who, there's a price objection on £200.
Yeah.
And you're like, so then what you subconsciously do is you start speaking back out to £200 a month people.
That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, but then guess what? You're a perfect marketer to attract more £200 a month people.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can commit to ignore everyone else on your socials and you just speak to the right ones, then they'll listen. Because if you speak at this level, only these people will listen. And more broke people, but they can't buy it anyway, and even these ones can't. Whereas if you speak here, these will listen, because these will never listen down, but everyone will listen up. It's like if you think of Gucci, they sell to wealthy people, but they sell to broke people, right? Whereas Primark We'll sell to broke people and not to anyone wealthy.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
So like, I'm not saying you have to go and say, I only work with millionaires.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I always say when it comes to cash in the bank, what do you want to earn for one of your primary 3-month offers, right? And let's say you go, right, I just want like non-negotiable 750 for one of your offers, let's say.
Yeah.
Well, I would just go, okay, they have to have a minimum with 0 friction to be able to just go 750 today, right? Why do I have my university at £1,500 a month? Because I know the people that would want that would just go 1,500, right? Why is my brand, there's payment options, but like whether they do split pays of 2.5K, 5K, 7.5K, and then black room 15K, 20, 30K. Because I know the people who would go in each level, just have that money, who see the worth and just transact it, right? So then for each level I only speak at with the copywriting, I only speak at the people who just would transact it. So let's say maybe you're like, I always want to sell a £1,500 program every time. Well, we've got to make sure that when you speak through that camera, the guy you're speaking to when you're like, I don't really like the analogy, but like FaceTime.
Yeah.
You have to speak to him like knowing that, like you don't speak to him like he's broke. He has a £1,500 he will spend if he believes everything he needs to believe. And that's the shift. Because when you do that, if the guy you're always speaking to would happily transact, I could happily transact a lot of money for a lot of things right now, but I wouldn't just do it. Like I still need to believe the things. So someone doesn't need to speak to me like I'm broke.
Yeah.
They just need to show me what it's worth and that me buying it is gonna be the best investment ever.
Yeah, because even say if I think about my current position, if I speak to anyone who's back in Ireland, majority of them aren't making any fucking money.
Yeah.
And say if anyone is making money in Ireland, they've got a massive ego. Let's say if they're making 100K a year, they're still getting taxed 40%. So they're getting 60K a year after tax. So if I was to, and I know lads out here that could do it getting in shape, they're working in sales. And they're
one of the best roles, by the way. And the other guy for it, you should do it. Like, I was going to say to you, I'm not saying like, has to be all your angle, but like, there's a lot of people who are out here who work remote, who make 3K, 5K, 10K, 15, 20K. Like, I don't sell it anymore, but like I've still got clients in it. High ticket, I charge $2,000 a month, fitness coaching, right? The same process that I would have given someone else for $300-400 a month back in the day. But I'm just speaking to guys where the worth is more now. Because if I can work with a sales closer who's making 10, 12 grand a month, and just by me working on his mindset, his habits, his fitness, his self-image, then that's going to come in his energy, right? When he's selling. And then like I had a guy recently and he made like another 15, 20K a month. I didn't teach him anything on marketing and sales. Yeah. Like these guys are out here. You can literally, there's so many people and you'll get one of those clients and it'll change your life. Yeah. Not because he paid you a lot of money, because now you're like, I can just speak to them all. And they were in front of you the whole time.
Yeah, cause say for me right now, the thought of someone paying me $2,000 a month is like unfathomable.
Yeah.
Like I'm like.
It would have been for me one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting though. But yeah, you'll compound your way. I'm not going to say charge 2K a month and speak to these right now, but yeah, edge your way. I remember when I had a program, it was like, I remember when I went from 200 to 250, I was scared, 250 to 300, and then I went 300 to 350, and I found at 350 I was selling more, easier than when I spoke at 250, right? If you think of like, think about this. That Bose speaker over there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's crazy premium, right? Let's say it's like £300. I don't know what they cost, right? And then let's say you've got a different brand and it's like £50. Everyone who walks into Bose who wants a speaker just buys that. But it's pretty much the same as that speaker over there, £50. But some of those are like, I don't know if we should get a speaker right now. It's 50 quid, right? Just because price psychologically is the easiest way to distinguish how good something is.
Yeah.
And shows your self-worth. And it's a great way to differentiate yourself. There's no advantage to being, the 5th cheapest, the 10th cheapest, the 1000th cheapest, but there's a massive advantage to being the most, because now you're in your own category again. Even if you were selling the same thing, just by being the most, now there's a perception difference. And then if you did sell a program that was 2K a month fitness, the people you would be speaking at for that wouldn't flinch at 2K a month.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of it is personal development too, like just getting out your own way with it, which takes time. But the easiest way to do that, like I said, is like you'll just keep getting one of those clients, which is higher level. And then your messaging will be the same, but it'll just subtly change direction every few months, because you'll get that one better guy. And then now you keep speaking at him, and now all your conversations are with a guy of that level, not this level. So your average buffer line of who you're communicating to is different. And then you may go from like 300 to 500. Then one day you're like, I just sold 2 guys for 500 yesterday. Fuck it. Today I'm saying it's 750. And then he just goes done, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then you'll just keep edging. It's not an overnight process. I'm not going to come and tell you just 5x your price. It's silly. But you got to keep pushing your boundaries and trying new things. But start with just speaking to the slightly higher level ICP. And then over the months, just let it evolve. But always kind of just maybe once a month, just bring yourself back in and go, is there an opportunity to just slightly improve who I'm speaking to based on who I'm working with? Is that guy, let's say you had a guy in your business called Jack, who's the 100 grand a month guy right now, 100 grand a year guy right now. We'll speak at him, but then let's say you've got a new guy, and he might also be 100 grand a year, but this guy may be in 100 grand a year, but he's not very compliant. He misses his check-ins. He's not great at communicating. And even though he pays, you kind of like, he's not still a good client. But then now you have another great guy who has the income, has the cash in the bank frictionlessly, but he also has the good character traits that you want. And you're like, I like speaking with him. I like him being, like, my business these days is, it looks like it, I didn't once understand how it was going to happen. But I basically asked myself a question, like, what would need to be true? So every person in my business who I work with, everyone who buys from me, whether they've just bought online or applied and got in high ticket, any ticket, it's someone I would just go to the gym with, go out for dinner with, and it's just like me bumping into a mate. It comes through like how authentically you market, right?
Yeah.
And who you're speaking to. Because if I'm speaking at this guy this way, only those people can hear it really. The other people are just like, what's this guy talking about? Whereas the right people hear it, and then now you got the right people, right? So character traits. So even when I'm speaking, I know the character traits. Like if I'm speaking right now, I know my audience are willing to invest in themselves if there's the right thing and they see it's the right opportunity. I don't want to speak to the people who don't have a mindset to invest in themselves. I might want to like share how I do to maybe create a little bit more awareness on how higher level people do. But I want to work with people who come in, go through everything, execute it, start implement. Like you've already come in, you've changed your office, you've started working on it. That's intentional because I know my audience will. That's why I speak to them as if they will. Mental syntax, know where they are. Mistakes, this is important for content. Mistakes they know they're making. Mistakes they don't know they're making. And mistakes that it's something they're trying to do, but it's actually wrong. Get clear on what all those things are, and that's a great way as well for content ideation. So let's say a mistake you may have been making that you didn't know you were making was that you were just packaging up your offer and selling the features. So I could make a piece of content and be like, most coaches just sell features, and that's why they don't make any money. What you actually need to do is they need to see what they're going to achieve, your unique way on how they're going to do it, which is better, faster, more aligned than anyone else, and then the features, etc. And now I've just spoken to you because I just spoke to something you have that you didn't know. Maybe I could speak more in a frame of, you shouldn't be doing this because you're already aware, but the reason you carry on is because you haven't worked on X, Y, Z. Or, guys, I've also tried to do this. I've tried to go carnivore like you are right now, but trust me, it's wrong. yes, you get more mentally sharp, but you go really flat. And they thought they were doing something right, but it was wrong. So like, just think on those 3 terms of mistakes, and that's also how you can speak to them. Flaws, like what are their traits that they need to work on? Maybe it's like common ones are going to be like self-belief. Flaws again might be, which is always really common, they don't push proximity enough with people who are at the level they want to be.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Huge.
Yeah.
And at every level it's big, right?
Even say me now.
Yeah.
One of the lads, he's struggling. Like say like, oh man, lost all my clients, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. If I'm spending time with him, I'm like, fuck me, man.
Yeah.
But then I was trading with one of the lads the last day. He's doing like 10, 20K a month. And he's talking about his offers. I'm like, yeah, fucking hell. There's load to be made.
Yeah. Like, you've got to get around people with the belief system. I always say if you can adopt someone's physiology, belief systems, mental syntax, that's like how they think, make decisions, like how they actually see everything. And you get around enough people who are on those levels, anything from a bit above to all the way to the top, it's like osmosis. You're always going to pull up. Whereas, honestly, mate, I was going to be completely transparent with you. I've worked with hundreds, thousands of people, right? Multiple hundreds on the brand. And everyone gets the information. I'll tell you one of the biggest flaws that I see holding people back, right? And it's, I have a saying, you have to pay in full and you have to pay up front. I.e., you need to do, not just like watch a course. You have to do everything required to get the result. All of it. That's going to be physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, all of it. And once you've done all of it, all in up front, then you'll get the repercussions, you'll get the rewards. People are like, I'm doing everything. I'm like, you might be doing some of the tactical stuff. You're not doing any of the use stuff. You're still hanging around 6 bums every fucking day at Nando's, right? And now you think like those. Now you come onto this call, low frequency as fuck. I can understand exactly why. Do you know what's different about me and you? I cut those fucks out. And to pay in full and to pay up front, you have to do everything that the person who got the result would have done. Not just the business strategy, but you have to make the sacrifices. You know, like one thing for me was, I was like, if I stayed in the UK years ago, like I love my mom and dad more than I love anyone, right? Like everyone. But I said to my mom and dad, probably 5 years ago, Mom, Dad, I will never take any advice from you other than maybe on relationships because they're still together. Because you haven't, no offense, you haven't achieved anything remotely close to what I want to achieve. So everything you say, think, suggest, it's all fucking wrong, out of alignment for what I want to do. And I moved away. I was like, I don't want much proximity to you. Because every time I call you, even if it's like every few days, all you do is you go, are you okay or are you struggling? Just shut the fuck up, you know? And I had a good 3-4 years where I would like once a month maximum have a 10-minute conversation with them. I'd go back to the UK once a year. And this isn't just my family, it's like everyone who I was around. And that's part of paying upfront and paying in full. Like if a lot of the stuff I do now is because I want to build so much I can give it all back. But I wouldn't have been able to like help people up that mountain unless I went first on my own. And that's just one example of like, you've got to do everything required, and proximity, removal of proximity from certain people, doesn't matter how much you love them. You made a post about this the other day. Get to the people close to your goals. Get to the people who are physically there, mentally there, spiritually there, financially there, who like you would go, I would trade reality with this person and I wouldn't feel shit. I'd feel really good. Good, do that. And people aren't prepared to do all of those things. You know, when they've got 5K in the bank, the guy who's now got 100K, he just wiped the 5K and he had 5K bills tomorrow. And he said, I'm gonna make 5K today, even though I've never done it, to pay for my bills tomorrow, because I know this investment that's an opportunity today is gonna make the 5K never an issue in 30 days time. And people go, I can't do it. You didn't pay in full, you didn't pay up front. And now I'm not just saying people should just go and just buy random shit that doesn't help them. But when there's an opportunity and people don't, it's the things that hold them back. And that's why I say to people, like, do that morning process, like assumptions and alignment. Like, a lot of the time, people's heart knows what they need to do. They know someone can help them. People look at you right now, and they go, I know Dean can help me get in shape. I know he can actually help me lock in this process, stay accountable, lose the body fat, feel so much better, have clarity. Go and create this life for myself. Their heart knows it, but their mind is pulling them off. And the second people can get like congruency between heart and mind, then they get really good results. And I have a bit of a rule. I go through it, I write down what does my heart say, fuck the mind. And then I go, right, I draw a little line and I say, I've got 24 hours to do this. I don't wait a year. I don't let it go. I catch it. And if it's this guy, I know this guy can help me learn something on systems in the back of my business. I go, okay, what's one thing I could do in the next 24 hours? Go check the website. If it's available to invest, if you can apply today, do it now. And when you then start doing that with yourself, you stack results 1,000,000 times faster, and then you just fucking roll. People, it's all of that stuff, the internal stuff that people don't fully get. But again, that's my mental syntax that gets me where I am. I have to share that. Because then if people did the same thing and looked at the world the same way, results become inevitable. People don't like to always do that. Like, human nature is take the frictionless path. And have you ever had it where someone's gone, here's $1,000, get me in shape, and then they don't make one check-in?
Yeah.
Because for them, they can just go, there's $1,000, feels like they're doing something, but then they don't do anything with it, right? You need people who will just do everything they need to do. But yeah, you got to understand, where are they mentally right now? Give them the mental advice that they need. Even, I don't hear many people talking about this, but I definitely relate with this. Even the stuff you're going through right now that helps you today, give that away too. Don't just think what's helpful for him there. If you've just had this epiphany this morning on something mentally that helps you take even more action yourself with your fitness today, or with your habits, or with your business, whatever it is, give that away. Because that's now even more magnetic pull-up. So like, sometimes I'll make a YouTube video, and some of the stuff I'm discussing, not the technical stuff, but more the mindset stuff, it could have just been something I had an epiphany on that morning. Because if it's potent for me now, think how potent it is for these guys. But yeah, like, this is all how we communicate with that person. And you just got to be as deep on yourself as possible. Like, be able to, what time of day would you typically make content? Morning?
Yeah, so get up at like 5:15.
Cool.
Do my morning process. Go to the gym, train, do my cardio, come back, have a coffee, sitting by the pool, doing my client replies. And say the last couple of mornings I've just been doing my content there. Like, just sitting by the pool.
Cool. Do you know what I would do? I would put all fulfillment in the afternoon. So I would go like AM process, gym, biz grow, no phone, no distraction, like maybe hear, even write down like what you're hearing that you could communicate, that you feel, because one of the things with content, like you in sales, you're like persuasion, right? The number one key to persuasion isn't like trying to get people to, it's like your own conviction, right? So speak on what you're actually feeling a lot of that day. Because if I was going to speak about, let's say I planned 20 YouTube titles, and then I go, oh, it's Tuesday, I'll do this one. Even if it's correct what I'm saying, there's an energy projection. Speak on where you're high. So I would start writing down that morning, what do you feel called to talk on that day? Yeah, you can have a bit of a framework in terms of like, there's certain things, but like grab the one that your energy's with. And then I would make this a content window, right? and I would have no external noise by this point. And then I would just go into it. I'd be maybe fasted, maybe something light, but I wouldn't heavy load myself with loads of digestion. And then I'd have a bigger meal, and then I would do what I would call like biz do. Like, do your client work, do your calls, whatever. So like that way, this section here is going to be so much more potent because your growth should be the priority. Your fulfillment is so easy. You could do your fulfillment with your eyes closed. You know, if you've got a client call, if you've got a Loom video to do, you got to do it at 1 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. at night, you're going to give them the same fucking information, right?
Yeah.
But the energy is needed in your content. I don't do this. I know this is client stuff. So for me, all day Tuesdays, I've got clients. But the reason I do my in-person ones on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning is because I'm going to have a lot more energy. I'm going to be a lot sharper. I'm going to be a lot clearer. So for me, 9 till 1 in the morning or 8 till 12 is just deep work / content creativity. That shift alone, I would say, is probably my number one habit that's got me where I am. If I was to just say one thing.
Yeah.
And it's basically working on the biggest lever. Like if have you read The One Thing?
Yeah, I've listened to the audiobook.
Yeah, like what's the one thing that if in 10 years was at the highest level, all your problems would be solved? Your content. If your content was so good, I would say you don't need to have amazing sales stuff. You don't need amazing lead stuff, right? If your YouTube was that good, if you were that good at communicate, you were that good on Instagram, I'm not saying you don't need this, but like it solves everything. So what's interesting is I can go and create VSLs and sales pages and all this stuff, and every single person that buys, they just go, yeah, I didn't watch the VSL, I just knew because I was already sold on your YouTube. You know, like there's still a power here, right? Especially if it's like cold traffic. But when you're marketing organically to people on social media, don't rush to make the fanciest website. Don't rush to make all this stuff. Just put all your focus here. And be as potent as you can every single day there. And just give it a window where you can't open your phone. You can't go and start speaking to clients or setting someone up. It's just purely impact. Like you have to just give the best version of you out. And your clients can still watch this stuff. Like it's still helping them.
Yeah.
Right? But that's just, it's almost like you grow, biz do. In simplicity. It's like, go prime yourself, get yourself set up, go work on yourself mentally, physically, then go grow the business and then just do the fulfillment. You might not even need to do fulfillment every day. Depends.
Yeah, say for me right now, I only do check-ins on a Wednesday and a Sunday, and it might take me like 2.5 hours of each of them days.
So, well, that's interesting. So you got a couple of routes. You could say, okay, well, I do no business grow on those 2 days, and then you have 5 days of biz grow and no afternoon. Or you could say, I'm going to have 7 days of biz grow and 2 days with an afternoon of work, 5 days with no afternoon of work.
Yeah.
Then in the afternoon, where I would work is then, if you're not doing biz do, which is, let's say, clients, this is then where I would come to. I would come more to like website, systems, email, leads, product innovation, whether it's your free stuff, whether it's your paid stuff. And I'm like working on like inside the business. Like you could say it's going to grow you, like working with a client is going to grow your business because you can get a testimonial, but like this is primarily like, this is marketing. This is like behind doors. No one's seeing it, but it's like, this is make your brand better for tomorrow. And this is get your brand known for tomorrow. And I would just set your day up like that. I'm even pretty strict on maybe protein and a bit of fruit maybe, but light food and then food. And you can do fucking heavy meals there. I'm not trying to change the way you eat and stuff, but what I've found is I try and get my macros I want through the day, but I'm really heavy on I try and backload a bit more.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen the impact it has from just compounding, just having a free mind in the morning. So that's what I would do. And just alternate. You could go, let's say if you kept the routine you did now, so you did 2 days check-ins, then you might even just do 4 days of content, right? I would take 1 day fully off. Just don't fucking touch anything for a day, refresh. 4 days, you could just do, how frequently are you posting on YouTube at the minute?
This week I've put up, I think like 4 or 5.
It's good.
But say right now, like doing a reel doesn't take me barely any time unless I've sat down and really structured what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. A YouTube video might take me 2 to 3 hours to film and upload and come up with the idea.
Yeah.
So say if you were me and you're like, okay, I'm just going to put the fucking foot down now. What would you be focusing on to really just level it up a bit more? Like say, would you be like, 2 YouTubes a day?
I would go, do you know what I would do?
Yeah.
I would think about it slightly different. So I would go, let's say you got 4 days, okay? So you're gonna do biz grow 4 days in the morning. I would go 4 hours, only YouTube, 4 days a week. So you don't even look at Instagram, you don't look at Reels.
Yeah.
Okay? And instead of giving yourself 2, 3, it takes 2, 3, widen the gap and go, okay, but now I've got 4 hours, so how good could it be in 4 hours?
Yeah.
Think on more potency. So ideation, the packaging, the title, the thumbnail, how well can you package that up? Maybe you spend an hour and a half just coming up with like your title thumbnail, but then innovating it and trialing it and picking a few, because that could 5x your video.
Yeah. And like doing like a Miro board or a good presentation.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever, like however you like to consume it, just give yourself 4 hours. Even if you've got one that's so fucking good and it takes a little bit more, let's say it's a visual one.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a Miro, maybe you have 4 days just building the fuck.
Yeah.
4 hours, sorry. I would max your time. I would go, what's the one thing? YouTube. And then I would add Instagram for you into here. This is actually how I operate, by the way.
Yeah, because say even there yesterday, like let's say if I do this AM process gym into like, see that's right there then, that's where I'm almost like, okay, this is where I've got the most energy. Like that's why I can sit by the pool and like bang out like 4 reels. Say if I was to do the YouTube video there, it'd be a lot easier. And then say in the evening when I'm sitting out by the pool, I could just pull out my phone. Because say I find my energy kind of dips there midday. I
just almost do my reels on inspiration. I'm just randomly. Whereas I'd give that the time it deserves.
Yeah.
And like, you know, before we started today, I was kind of talking about like the long game.
Yeah.
How many other people do you know are going to put 4 hours, 4 days a week into YouTube, and they're going to do that every day for 5 years? Then you're already going to start getting paid for it in a month's time, but you're going to be getting paid a fuck ton for it, right? And God, like I'm doing a new channel for the brand stuff now, just because the way the algorithm works, it just doesn't send it across different ICPs. But all my compounded YouTube experience, like people are like, oh, you're not scared? Like you had all this business on this channel, and then you just start. I go, I don't care. Like from 0 subscribers, I was like, I don't care, because I've carried the version of me over.
Yeah.
And guess what? That version of me still makes money from it instantly. But that's because I've got all my hours of time compounded of 4 hours a day, X amount of days a week. So like put it in, one, for building the channel and communicating and giving value to your ICP, which they want to listen to and just serve that out. But also for like just building you and your communication. Then if you become a great communicator here, think how much better you're going to be here.
Yeah.
Right? It's just going to be a complete game changer. So it's a lot higher leverage. This is like that long-term play, but will serve you. And then I would focus on that down here.
Yeah, because even say, since I've started doing the YouTube videos, even just articulating my thoughts, say when I go onto Instagram to a reel now, I find I can just bash something out.
Yeah.
Versus before, if I was just doing Instagram, I could be recording something, I'd be like, wait, no, fuck, what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
And then I could be like half an hour walking up and down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you're good at communicating. You just want to, for you, your communication potency now is going to come from just like knowing exactly who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
And letting that person evolve with no guilt of letting it subtly shift, you know? 100%. Are you pretty clear on that? Or do,
Yeah.
in terms of YouTube, actually, you know, we're speaking on the ICP, they're a bit 50-50, right? I would do 2 a week. This would be like the framework I would follow if I was you, right? 2 a week, problem aware. 2 a week, solution aware. In simplicity, right? You've got all the videos on like belief systems and all that stuff. But to keep this simple right now, to make it very actionable, 2 videos a week. The purpose is you're creating a video which is packaged in a way around their pain or their desire.
Yeah.
And people get confused with YouTube, like, oh man, I'm trying to script it, I can't keep my thoughts speaking, and they get too in their own mind. Easiest way to simplify YouTube is be really authentic, but just in the back of your mind, you've got this consciousness on, you're going through gates. And it doesn't matter if you take 5 minutes to get to next, just go through the gates in the video. And in simplicity, to synthesize the belief system stuff down into like the most actionable level. You can go deeper on this and add your thoughts when you're setting them up. The only feeling, you've just got to think, right, I'm going to make 2 videos a week where by the end of the video, the ICP, the audience, the person listening, is going to feel this. Fuck, if I get in shape and I take my fitness seriously, it's going to get rid of these problems and it's going to solve these. All you've done is you just made them solution aware. Yeah. So you make 2 videos where the only major gate, the only major thing that you have to go through is by the end of that video, they need to be sat there thinking, fuck, I need to go to the gym now.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of that problem aware video. Like they have this huge need to do it, to get the outcome of your offer. Like you've now articulated, persuaded why there's so much importance around getting in shape, right? And you can frame that on any of the, you could be like, why fixing your body will fix your entire life, money, women, lifestyle. And then they watch the video and they're like, fuck yeah, I can relate from his story. Like it's going to completely change my life. Boom. Well done, right? In there, could you also product awareness your stuff a bit? Yeah, right? Solution aware, the main gate that needs to be the main gate that people want to take away from this video. This is where people mess up when they do solution aware. They just go, if it's fitness, this is how I train my chest, and like give away bits of value, right? It's still fine. But the main purpose, especially on YouTube, obviously they're here and they know they need to get here to get this. They're already aware.
Yeah. What
they need is why you. Okay? The main thought at the end of a solution aware video, basically like the packaging would be more like, if I had to go from, if I was training 4 days a week with little results, this is step by step what I would do to get to 8% body fat. Like it's solution aware, it's like speaks right at them. By the end of this video, the main thing they need to be thinking, better, faster, more aligned. Your way of getting there speaks to them way more than everyone else's. Common ways to achieve this is 1, you need an enemy, right? Right now, think about your ICP. What else might they be trying to do? So the enemy could be just mediocrity and fucking bums, or it could even be like high rocks.
Yeah.
Right? Like basically, so then they're picking your team on like your way of doing it. The next thing is unique mechanism, right? Like if we understand this line and we go, right, that is your system. But then with your clients, like based on how you got that result, you may do this one thing, this 2, 3 things, this. For example, like, what do? I take people through identity. Basically, how I was in this position where I had a brand and I hated it. I'd make money, but like I felt like a cringe and I couldn't scale it. And I was like, I just want to build a brand that feels like me and make a ton of money and help people because that's why I want to do it. So I invested, I did all these things, I just tried running all these angles, and then basically I got to this point where I was like, this is it. If I want to do the same thing tomorrow, like every offer I launch, I run a system. I go through identity extraction, like everything that you've got inside the program, identity extraction, offer ecosystem, then I always come to buyer traffic flywheel, then the lead flow, then the sales processes, and so on. And I scale a certain way. I always go internal before I go external. It's a very systemized process. Like your process, you need to come up with, like, what do you do that for you just sits so perfectly? Like if you had to remove everything from your life right now, all the results you've got, and you're going to go get yourself back in shape, you'll do it a very specific way because it just sits right with you. Yeah, there may be 20 other ways, but you don't want to go keto, you don't want to go this. Maybe you don't even want to just do the generic bodybuilder, like how to get, maybe you've got a slight edge or angle, maybe you like a bit of mindset, maybe you like habits, like what do you do? And then the easiest, simplest way to do that is categorize them down into probably 3 to 8 steps and give them a unique name. So the easiest way to do this is like pick 2 to 3 words that are very normal words the audience are just going to know and glue them together in a way that's never been glued together before, right? So then you can speak on it. So like one thing that I've done for so many years is the consciousness calibration. I am alignment, I am assumptions, right? One of my things, I used to be so big on like, it's not just fitness. I wanted to help people with the mindset because that helped me with life, right? So I was doing it and then I was like, right, well, I want to help other people do that. And that's going to go part of what I do in my program. And then again, better, faster, more aligned. People also want that side, not just this. And then I made it a necessity. I gave it its name. I was like, consciousness, it helps me with that. And it's calibrating, consciousness calibration. And therefore that became step 1 of my elite entrepreneurial athlete program. That's what I want you to do, right? And here's the next level of lens I would think with this is, your content then, because this is where people go, oh, it's manipulative. Deep what I'm gonna say, right? You follow this process. You need this process to get the result in a way that feels right. Because it isn't just about the outcome, because there's multiple ways to get it. You've done it a certain way because you want to feel a certain way whilst getting it. So you needed to do your 4 things or your 8 things. Your audience also needs to believe that they need those 4 things, right? So let's say you've got ABC, CBA, BCA, ACB, right? That's your unique mechanisms. Your audience needs to understand, because you understand it to do it, your audience needs to understand that they need this in order to get this. They need this specific way in order to get this. They need this to get this. They need this to get this. And they need all of them together, not alone, and in sequence to get this. You're inevitable. You can charge whatever the fuck you want. Why? Because who else has this? Nobody, it's yours. So if your message can speak so deeply at who you're speaking to, where they're also like, oh my God, I understand exactly why he's done it this way. Makes so much sense, and I can understand that it's so predictable for me as well as him. Where else can they go and get that? Nowhere. Probably one of the most powerful things you can do in your marketing is build that mechanism. And then it's not about teaching how to do all of these in your content, right? Give away some bombs. It'll actually help them. But for example, let's say one of these was as specific. For example, one of the things I had was a 4-phase physique roadmap that people have to go through in order to get the physique they want and sustain it. And I called it the 4-phase physique roadmap, something like that. And basically, I was like, you need to go through the priming phase because of this reason. You need to go through the diet phase, the diet recomp because of this reason. You need to go through the reverse because of this, and the performance phase because of this. And people are like, yeah, I understand why, right? Tell people what, when, i.e., what, when, what order, why. That's crazy valuable, even just giving them that. How. You have my how because you're working with me. When you go inside the program, you've got all the how. You didn't have that before, but what you had before was what, why, and when. Okay? So I would have said back in the day, and what I would advise you to do, let's say one of the things you do is how you set up macronutrients. I'm like, you have to set up your macronutrients in this way. You know, you have to optimize macronutrients, the total amount of macros, timing, and then update those whenever your body's tweaking so that your body can stay responsive and actually facilitate the whole result.
Yeah.
Even just by speaking that, did you tell them how to do every tweak?
No.
Did you tell them the macros specifically? Did you work it out for them? No. But they believe now they need it, right? And they do. That's why you do it. And when they need it, they're going to come to you and then they're going to get the how with you. So the value in the solution aware, I know I went around the houses, is much more of a what, when, why on this than a how.
Makes sense.
And if you pull that into solution aware and you do that 2x a week, and then you hit that twice a week, machine. Then you've got two options. You can either clip out the key components where you're articulating those points, or you can just make reels of like mini versions on the same things, and it's actually more potent doing it that way. It just requires a bit more time.
Yeah.
So for me now, with where I'm at, time-wise, I just clip. If I get a bit more time in a week, I'll make intentional, because I can just get to the point a bit clearer than it being pulled out of something. But either way works. But you're using your machine as YouTube as the engine, and then you extract from it physical reels, or you extract the concepts and then make reels. So like, you shouldn't really need new ideation from Instagram and YouTube, even if you're making them separate. All your building and your conceptualization is in YouTube, and then you just extract out. And then you're gonna have a proper engine running.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 15 to 30 minute videos, ideally a week. Fuck me, you could have 40 reels if you need.
Yeah.
You know, if you pulled them out. So content becomes very easy then. And then with these, a lot of them are going to be very similar, right? Just going to be packaged slightly different.
Yeah.
Offers. Do you feel good on your offers at the minute? Let's cover offers and leads, because I think that now is going to be, this is big, that's why I wanted to cover it, but I think if we can master offers, leads, and sales briefly, you'll be killer. I'll give more concept, and then you'll be cool running this. What I say we look at is just more prices.
Yeah.
And just what the deliverables are for both, so we can scale it. See what you're currently charging at the minute?
So right now I'm charging on average 200 a month.
Yeah. And most people on the monthly as well?
Yeah. I've got a few that paid in full, but before I was doing like either monthly 200 or 6 months 1K. Mm-hmm. And that's say like 1-to-1 check-ins, a Loom each week. And
so that's with Loom and everything?
Yeah, and WhatsApp support, like form analysis during the week.
Yeah.
And say if anything on that, I'd be trying to over deliver. So if someone sent me form clips on a Tuesday, I'd send them over to review that day.
Yeah, that's a lot. Because I mean, people charge $350 to $500 I'd say a lot of people for like the standard coaching on that. I'd say if you start pushing calls, 750 up is the standard. I was ideating on this for you earlier. Here's what I would do without doing any big scary shit, but we'll still advance it. I would, you're clear on this stuff, right? Like almost like a couple of sentences, what they're going to achieve.
Yeah.
Your mechanism, briefly explained, and then features. Which
I've got all that done out.
Cool. So this section, the what, let's say you've got T1, T2. The what, let's go in here. So I would have one tier, which what I would do is I would make my premium tier. Like what the guy we want to speak to, right? The guy we want to speak to, that ICP who, under the right circumstances, he's got the cash to just pay 3 to 6 months in tier 2. Let's build that out. And then we have an offer which is almost like a downsell offer.
Yeah.
So I could be like, right, I'm going to communicate a black room. That's going to help people who want my one-on-one, but then I've got, well, they're still here, I can still help them. They're still here, I can still help them. But they just can't physically facilitate the same amount of time from me as the black rooms for that price. But I still want to help them. So I would build out, what does this look like? And I would be saying, you can do the call stuff. You got to think, do your ICP like, do they want the calls or do they not? Do they like weekly one-on-one calls? Is that what they want from you? Or do people more just, is Loom something that they value? They find enough from that?
Say right now, I don't have anyone having weekly calls.
I would make a tier 2 where they get 1 times a month call.
Yeah.
It would be Loom, WhatsApp support, all their form stuff, analysis, daily replies. Pretty much what you do with a monthly call. Monthly call is going to be good for a couple of reasons. 1, it's great for retention. 2, you can just give them that additional value that they can't get from a one-sided Loom video. Because you can give them the technical, but when there's 2 people bouncing this way for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, it's good. You can even, let's say someone was on a 12-week process. The monthly call here, you can discuss where that would go to here, right? And then here, you can discuss, and that way, can you see how they're always seeing their next level forward? So it's good that way. Tier 1, it would be still all custom, right? Onboarding. And I would just have like what I had in mind was like just a big message, and it's like, hey Dean, you're all set up, ready to roll. You'll see your training, you'll see your nutrition, you'll see this. If you don't want to follow this, here's all the food sources. Here's the group link call, whatever, right? If you want to go in the community, go in there. Basically, onboarding message, which is like preset, you just tweak a few things.
Yeah.
I can send you one of mine, right?
Yeah.
Then I'd have like custom setup. Do you have an app? Do you do it in an app or something? Cool. So custom setup, it gets sent through. Weekly updates. So like basically this is a program that is designed for, you're going to have everything you need to do, but you're just going to execute it. Like it's for those people who are just like, you want proximity, but you can't pay for the highest level, but I'm still going to give you everything that's custom. You just might not have as much learning behind it. Do you know what I mean? So you still go in and you'll update it, but no Loom video. Just go and change the macros if they need a macros update. Some weeks you'll just put no update required. Execute the fucking plan, bitch. Just fucking do what you need to do. And then here's what I always think, because effectively this is more like scalable via price, kind of, right? This one's more like scalable by volume, right? It still requires one-on-one. So it's not like we can go peak, but with the offer you're doing at the minute, this would be the equivalent. Over time, we can shift it, but for where you're at right now, it's silly. It would be not ideal for your business. So I always think with these ones, what is the standard thing people do? They'll do all the WhatsApp, whatever, right? And then I go, right, well, WhatsApp takes loads of my time, my mental capacity. I don't always enjoy doing it. I always think from the frame of what would actually technically be more valuable but require less time. And what you want to do is I would just do 1 hour group Q&A call a week.
Yeah.
So basically, if you put another 100 people in there, you're going to be on this one call, but now they just don't get some blunt, pissed off message, hit your plan, dickhead. Now they actually are on a call speaking with you that you were on anyway, and they can be like, man, I'm just struggling. And then you can actually almost present like, you can give them like a live mini YouTube on their exact problem. They're also the reason these are so fucking good. Where do you think most of my content ideas come from?
Clients.
Exactly, right? Because when it comes to content, pretty much everything is just problem solution in its frame, right? Within the frame, you got belief systems, right? But the frame is problem to solution, right? i.e., whatever is a question in this group call or on your one-on-one, which you're going to get a lot more of on a group call, that explanation you just gave was very valuable to your client, right? Because they just asked the question. Why not just go and explain that to your content now? It's such a good way to just have a ton of ideas. And you've also pre-practiced it. You've pre-articulated it yesterday. So now you can come and just voice the same value back out. I always say, when people say, how do you become great at communicating? It shouldn't be an issue because you should have already communicated it so many times. You got to set yourself up like an environment where I've already communicated this 1 billion times. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Looms are a good one for it, but the best way is live off the cuff, get asked some questions and give answers.
It's like when you give a good explanation once, it almost like sits there in your brain.
Fuck yeah. You're like, oh, I'm going to hold this one.
Yeah.
So I would do that. Then you don't have all the WhatsApps. You don't have to do any Looms. They get everything they need. What you can also add over time, what I just call like an info element, just a few resources of videos, where it'd be like, what are the 20 questions you get asked all the time? What do I do when I'm traveling? All this shit, right? Just when you get that afternoon block, biz do, that's then when I'd be like, oh fuck, I got 5 minutes. Just had these 3 questions. Let me just film a video on each one of those 3. Even if it's just on your phone like this, doesn't need to be professional. It's just got to give the value. Doesn't matter how it's delivered. Even if it's just written and it's just like an info section in a resource, go check the fucking thing. It's already there for you. Then you're saving yourself future time and you've also just added value on the front end for them. So that way you have a very seamless thing. Over time, you can get like a ghost coach to follow your system on it if you want to go that route. If not, there's different routes you can go with scaling that. We can talk about it when it happens. But I would keep it one-on-one for now, but it's definitely more scalable.
Yeah.
This one, do a monthly call, Loom, WhatsApp, and I'd probably make this like, this is going to close everyone if they can't buy this.
Yeah.
It'd almost be like, position this where we want it, but there's always a sale. I always think, how can that, like, I've got Black Room, which starts from like 9K up, right? But like, how can I always have a sale where I can still help people, but there's different levels, right? I've always got a guarantee. Anyone who's committed to building the brand, who's truly committed, has done what you've done. They've just gone in at this level to still get value. And that's what you should do. This might be more like your 225 a month, 600 3 month.
So say for me, because obviously I work in euro, would you go up to €250 a month?
If it's euro, yeah, just the conversion.
Yeah.
If I'm working off GBP, that's from my awareness of the market and like where stuff's priced, what's aligned, that's good. Whereas this one, I'd be challenging you to go more like 325 and then 850 for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then you can also do a 6 and a 12 month pricing.
And say do you think I should put it in pound, even though, do you think when they click on it from a psychological standpoint, they'd be like,
oh, because it's less with the convert? You could do, yeah. Yeah. Because, people have this with like USD, don't they? It's like, it's a lot higher.
Yeah, it's like fucking hell.
Yeah, and with the conversion, I mean, it's crazy.
And say with the weekly updates,
Yeah.
Let's say on the app that I'm currently using, would I still get them to fill in the check-in form?
Yeah.
And
So
then update the training, update the macros, whatever it is. And
Yeah,
be like,
they just do everything they normally do, but instead of you doing a loom, because does it auto just tell them to check in or something like that?
yeah, they've got their check-in
Yeah.
date, yeah.
So they would just go fill it out, and then you at 7 p.m. at night just go in and you're like, they don't need no changing. Doesn't need changing,
Yeah.
right? Or you just go, yeah, they need 50 grams of carbs pulled. And then I would just say, pulled 50 grams of carbs and you've pulled it. See you on the call. Now we can have a real conversation.
Yeah, and it's almost more valuable that way.
Yeah.
Because on the Loom call, you can just be chatting shit already.
Yeah, you just make something up for 4 minutes because you're like, I need to speak.
Yeah.
Whereas the great thing with the groups is they're going to probably get 10 questions answered that they didn't even think to ask. And now they've just almost had like if they like watching a YouTube, now they've almost had like 10 even better YouTubes because they're not getting the what, why, the when.
Yeah.
They're getting the actual real how. It's like, how can you build a better product than everyone else with less time than everyone else and get better results than everyone else, which scales? And then therefore, you'll get to the point and you're like, holy shit, no one's had any looms, no one's had anything, and they're getting sick results. Well, then you're getting so many testimonials, you just bump that to 300. My scalable by volume, which was this, effectively, right? I worked that up to 400 a month and they had no one-on-one. Because the results were still that good because the system, the mechanism we took them through was so predictable.
400 people in it.
£400 a month.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say.
No, it had like 150 people in it at that
Yeah.
point. And I had 3 other offers. I had a stack of 4 offers when I was running my fitness business.
And obviously, say once I'm starting this out, I'll just keep the people who are in the coaching right now.
Yeah.
And then, say for like the first while, say when I'm doing the weekly group call, there might only be like 2 or 3 people on it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know what? It's interesting because it depends. The buyer profile depends really a lot on like who shows up. But like, I don't frame these calls as like, it's not a coaching call where you come in and you're like, I'm going to teach you that. It's a Q&A. It's like, let's have a conversation. It's proximity. And I have guys that have paid 12 months up front for brand, never come on a call. And I'm like, yes, you've got the whole program and I get it, but it's like some people, it's the personality. They just don't want to. And I push people. Sometimes they just don't come on. But I guess I built the info so deep in brand where I'm like, I get it. You got it. You just need to execute. But my mindset from who I am to get results is when I'm in something, I'm always on, like, I want the syntax. I want the belief systems.
Yeah.
People think, oh, I've got all the information, but what they don't see is the blind spots that they can't see, whereas the person can, right? So I would almost frame these as like, look, these are non-negotiable. You're going to learn a lot. They don't come on, they don't come on. If there's one person on, cool, wrap it up after 10 minutes, answer their questions. Just frame it as, I'm going to be on there for an hour in my calendar every week. If there's tons of people on it, I'm happy to run over 15 minutes. If there's 2 people on, make it 15 minutes. But I'm going to be there. My accountability for you is I'll be there at this time if you've got any questions. And sometimes I'll have tons of people on brand. And then another week, there's fuck all people on. And I'm like, well, you've almost just got like a private mini coaching session now. It's like, doesn't matter. It's like, I've had hundreds of people in programs before, and some weeks 50 come on and some weeks 3 come on, with hundreds in, paying 5, 10, 15K for programs. Don't hold anything to that. I almost just see it as this is just my extra support.
Yeah.
Take it if you want it, leave it if you don't. But I would frame it as like, this is important. Because most of the people, what I've found with the group calls is, like what I said with the blind spots, they think they're fine. And then let's say they're not getting very good results. I'll be like, get on the fucking call, you bitch. And then they come on and they're like, oh my God, I did not fucking realize you've just fucking shared so many things today on this call, which I didn't even think of or know. And then it completely changed. Like, those calls will be second nature to you, but your clients probably don't realize how important they are for them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're the one with the result, they're not. But what's kind of interesting is people who know less about a topic think they know so much more, right? The more you know, the less you realize you know, right? And that's typically why you get that dynamic. But I would just put an hour in your calendar and show up, and if not, get your fucking dinner early, bro. I'd keep it simple. But then this is like, yeah, we're gonna work through, either way, it's the same line, same unique mechanism, but here it's like, you're gonna have it and you do it yourself. Here it's, I'm gonna be fucking on you the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like, instead of a split call, you get me one-on-one. And you know, then you might start finding that you get a few clients who are like, I wanna be a fitness coach. And you're like, well, get in here then, because then we'll do one call a month. You can use it how you want. Instead of it maybe being mindset and accountability, maybe I'll fucking teach you how I get these results with you, and then you can give that, and then all of a sudden, can you see that? And then you'll be like, mate, you need the looms, because I'll really go into depth on exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. The best way to be, like, I can say this firsthand, I became a very good photo shoot prep coach back in the day because I'd just done it myself so many times with so many coaches that I just understood the process, not from learning from a course, just from being taught through it myself. And then I could just do the same with other people.
Yeah.
And I would be saying that to people, and then you may find that that's an angle you run in marketing. And then, well, now what's it worth? Now this is going to 10x their business, right? Because they're getting better results. Now instead of $325, maybe this is $650 a month, because the call is now about how to become a good coach.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, fucking
So like, you'll start finding, you'll get this one client and you're like, oh fuck. They're taking, even though you'll be like, even though this guy is getting the same deliverable as these other 7 guys, this seems really cheap for this person because I know what they're getting out is so much bigger. And that's where your prices in your mind start working up. It's not about what you deliver. It's like the violinist busking on the street versus in the Albert Hall or whatever. It's like your worth is different to different people. And all it takes is those couple of people coming through and you're delivering the same thing, but you're like, no, this is, and also you'd be doing them an injustice not to charge more because they won't fucking show up if you don't.
Yeah.
So that's what I would run with offers. Do you have any questions on that?
No, because the question before I came, say when I was running through the course,
Yeah.
say with the scalable by volume, I was like, how would a course work for fitness coaching?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so there is things you can do with fitness, but with where your business is right now, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would do it if you had, if you were.
Like, let's say, for example, with the scalable by volume,
Yeah.
I'm still going to be using my unique mechanism.
100%.
So
It's the same line. Yeah.
So when they come in and I'm explaining, like, let's say, my version of like my morning process.
So your unique mechanism, I would make as an info part of the program.
Yeah. So let's say break down each part.
So let's say 3 parts of your mechanism, a macro, something to do with macros, something to do with training, something to do with supplements. Then you've got morning process, and you've got habits, and you've got all these things.
Yeah.
I would make like a brief video on all of them, which is there's my mechanism now in the how-to explained. But then there's also some bits done for you.
Okay.
So like my entrepreneurial athlete one, there was all the 8 parts, info, but then they got their macros and the training custom.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, again, it's high leverage. You don't have to reteach it.
So it's scalable by volume. Say when I onboard them,
Yeah.
am I doing them a Loom video going
No.
over, here's your training plan? Or am I
No.
just going, say when they
But I would have videos pre-built inside the mechanism.
Yeah.
Let's say you're like training. I'd be like, you've been set up, you'll have been set up, we're going to start this way and then we'll do this.
Yeah.
So they'll have clarity on it. Also the onboarding message.
And again, with the nutrition,
Yeah.
like let's say they come in, they gave me all their stats. Obviously, I'm going to have to have the initial setup. Let's say if someone comes in, I'm like, okay, these are the macros we're running, these are the calories, and have like a load of pre-built meal plans, like jumping every 200 calories. Say.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it however you want. I would, with that, definitely have pre-built trainings, pre-built nutritions, and I just import them over, but then I'll just tweak the macro amounts, like the amounts of foods.
Yeah.
So like, I'll ask, like, back in the day, I've been like, all the normal stats you need, but what they like, what they don't like. And I'd be like, right, well, how do I eat? I'm going to build 10 versions of my meal plans to 2,500 calories, let's say. And then I would just literally, bro, I would just come in and be like, well, they need 20 grams more protein. Okay, I'm going to increase the chicken in all of them by 20 grams.
Yeah, okay.
And I would just keep it that simple. So basically, it's like an onboarding should take no more than 2 minutes because you've got it pre-built, but then you're going to just custom tweak it. And then a check-in is like, bro, it's second nature for you. You just go, well, we need to do this.
Yeah.
30 seconds. It's still very scalable by volume when the infrastructure is built. Even though it's one-on-one, and people want that. People would rather one-on-one with not much of your time, but still the proven system, than you hire Jake. We've got a new coach, Jake. You're going to have they want Dean.
Yeah.
They'd rather have that. This is what I found.
Yeah,
I once had 5 coaches working for me, and I sacked all of them, and I came to this. My business blew up. Because people are like, I'm getting Tom, everyone else in the industry is just fucking wanking you off to someone else. No one wants that. They want the guy. They're watching your YouTube. They're watching your Instagram. They want you, it's still you. And you could say, yeah, I want to scale more and more and more. Well, okay, well, keep it you. And you could either have a ghost coach and they don't know it's not you, but then they still get you on the weekly group, right? And then you're scalable by price to scale, just charge fucking way more. And you could still 5x your business without it being someone else.
Yeah, because even right now, say if I'm doing an onboarding for a new client, obviously skeleton plans for nutrition and training, but say when I'm doing the onboarding, I'm going through the same thing every single time, like walking through the roadmap, walking through training, nutrition.
Don't do that. I just have a video already built in the info, like this is the roadmap, and all I would do is I would just have like a notes section in the app where it's like the roadmap, it would just say like approximate X weeks in this phase, X weeks in this. And you would just basically just have a fill in the blanks in your onboarding.
Yeah.
Like it would it may take you like, let's say you did it tonight, you may fuck around for 2 hours and then all of a sudden it's just fucking 20 seconds. It'll become very easy. Like once you've built this is the message and I'm going to change the name and I'm going to change, it may say, you've got a training day and rest day nutrition plan, and then you may swap it for, you've got a linear 7 days a week. But simple swap in, swap outs. Then everything's pre-built.
Yeah.
And just let it improve over time. At the start, it may be there's no info. It's just program, group call. But then in 12 weeks time, there's now 6 videos. And in 6 months time, there's now 30 videos. Just let it develop. Don't build it before you sell it with something like this, because you got to remember what you're selling. The value is just the fucking macros and the training and the group call, you know? I say to people, so my brand, for example, back in the day, it used to be no info, no course, just weekly group calls. They would get all the value they get, but instead of it being self-study, it would just be on the group calls. And then over 6 months, 12 months, I started building. And then there was a time where I was like, right, this is fucking getting so busy. And then I just spent the time to build the whole thing out. But people don't, I've spent £500 a month on a fitness coach before, and I just got a WhatsApp message every 2 weeks. Like it was just a WhatsApp, and it was the best shape I'd ever fucking been in. Yeah. Because it's like it's not what you get. It's like what's the result. Yeah. Hence why the offers are what are you going to achieve, right? What's the conviction behind what they're going to achieve? That's what people want. I knew that guy with the WhatsApp message would fucking get me lean. That's why I did not care what I got. People care more about this than this bit.
I think you said before. It was like, would you rather get a master class off Arnold Schwarzenegger or a call every day with some fucking
some retard, yeah. It's so true. Yeah. The amount of info, and this is one of the reasons why I built my uni, because I was like, I'm being a fucking cunt, not like giving this out when people are like, fuck, I don't have the money to go in Tom's black room or whatever. But then I'm like, so now they have to just invest in the wrong thing. I was like, why can't I just make something that gives them the value? But it's going to have to take less of my time, but at least they can still get on the fucking path. Yeah. It's so true. And then for you have buy volume offer. Like for the person who's committed, everyone can go in your buy volume offer. You're giving them a path where it's going to have to take less of your time, but they're still going to get the right path versus going in, some guy for £50 a month. Bullshit. Where they get the one-on-one loom, but with a retard. Who wants that? you know. But yeah, would I rather my free masterclass, right, or pay £500 a month for some idiot who has no idea? I'd rather my free thing. Would I rather my university for 1.5K than pay 3K for one-on-one from a retard who has no idea? Like,
yeah.
And that's why you should have these offers, and they just sell themselves, 100%. Leads. What's your current psychology like? What's your current mindset even behind like where are your leads coming from at the minute in terms of, is it application? Do you have a free thing? Do you do also another one like I did earlier, like a hand raiser, just like a random thing. They're like, what might my audience be interested in? So I was like, again, what do I find valuable for me now, even at my level? My morning process. Would my audience probably be interested in how I set my calendar up to run my fitness, my business, everything now? Probably, because I am myself at this level. Tell people a little bit about it, share the importance on it, the what, the when, the why. Guys, if you want me to send over a full detailed thing, put your hand up, send me process. But now I've just had 20 people, like, I don't know how many I probably already had, right? But let's say, be interesting. Well, I can already see about 9, right?
Yeah.
People who have DM'd that. That's 9 conversations I didn't have this morning who I don't have to outbound. They've just come to me. And I'm giving them value, more trust, and there's people who are engaging with me. So how I think about leads are simple, like your application form. I'd have like a free thing permanently and a hand raiser. You can have like the story highlights thing as well. I do think that's I'm trying to keep this as potent and tight as like what's going to get you the most results right now with where you're at. Having an application, basically people need to know that you have an offer. So as much as do the content we talked about, there has to be a level of product awareness. They have to know you've got something that does that. What's your current application form at the minute? Like, what's it like?
It's just pretty much, what's your goal? What are you struggling with? I can pull it up.
Yeah. So I'd have like a
Yeah, so it goes, what's your main goal at the moment? And it's got like 4 different options. So say fat loss, muscle gain,
yeah.
elite level shape, or lifestyle and health. Then it goes, what's your current position? Basically, I don't know where to start. I've started, but my results have stalled. Or I know what I'm doing, I just need support.
I like the what's your current positions, because I would try and make the answers. I would keep the multiple choice.
Yeah.
Maybe your final question, no multiple choice, and maybe your final question, why now? And let them fucking write something. Because that's like selling them on like themselves, right?
Yeah.
But I would have the first question, I would go like, what like best describes your current situation? What's your current situation? And it may be like, I'd really like write what you know is your ICP. So I'd be like, even with the goals as well, but I'll loop back around. So like current situation, you might be like, I'm currently training every single day, 4 or 5 times a week, but I'm really not getting the results that I truly think I should be with the time I'm investing. Then your ICP is like, fuck, this is literally fucking me.
Yeah.
Like your questions should like be so congruent with your messaging and your content, and almost the questions they go through should almost sell them on I need Dean specifically because he's speaking the most me. So I'd try and avoid just fat loss or just gain or just simplicity.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather you have like a sentence for each where it's like, fuck, this is perfect. And then let's say you've got another ICP that you, hypothetically, and you want to speak to a guy and you might be like, I'm a coach. I've been in good shape, but now I want to consistently get in amazing shape. and learn the process deeper so I can be a better coach. I'm like, now that guy's like, fuck, this one's me.
Yeah.
Right? I would maybe have like 4 to 6 options of like, who are all the different people that you help? And then they're going to be like a fuck yeah on question 1. And then with the goal, a little bit more depth. You could even like talk on the outcome into the desire. You could be like, I want to strip my body fat because I understand the importance it's going to have when it comes to me improving my confidence. Like whatever it is they wanted to do. And then again, everything's matching what they've felt and heard on the steps before. And like that's in itself, like leaning it back into belief systems in the questions. So I think what you've got is good. I would just maybe sit there and think, how could this be perfectly worded? But don't change too much. And I would just, one thing with these is name, email, phone number, ask that last, not at the front.
Yeah.
I'm always big on that. Like let them talk about themselves first and then just get the info. Then WhatsApp them as fast as possible and just be like, they should be pre-sold, right, from the content. Then WhatsApp them and I'd be like, yo, just seen your applications come through. What's your vision 6 months from now? If everything went absolutely perfectly, no limit in beliefs, where do you want to be 6 months from now? And why? And then they go boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, where do you feel like you're at currently in relation to that? So you basically stretch that gap. Okay. And they'll talk about the problems and you kind of just done that. And then I'll say, what are you trying to do at the minute in order to get there? And I go, cool. I can see why that hasn't happened. Diagnose, present, it's because we need to do my mechanism. And then I'd say, is this a now thing? And they'd be like, yeah. I go, cool. Mate, you need to be inside my X program. I'll shoot you over the details now. Then I'd ping the sell by chat offer we've built out. And then just at the end of it, one line, let me know which option works best for you and if you've got any questions. Sometimes you could send your tier 2 and then your tier 1, and it could be let me know which one, so then they can choose. If it's someone who you know can't go for, let's say, the tier 2 already, you could just send them the tier 1, and then they'll choose which pricing.
Yeah.
Mate, it'll just sell itself.
And say if you're messaging them on Instagram, like let's say if you're doing a sell by chat on Instagram.
Yeah.
There, the last day I was trying to do it. But say when you go to copy the whole offer.
Oh, just split it up into, good question. So just split it up into like the top section, then the first parts of the mechanism, the second, and then I would just send it maybe as like 4 blocks. Because there's like a limit on characters, isn't there? Yeah. The biggest thing that you'll have to just add on Instagram, if it's like a non-application sell by chat, is just dig a little bit deeper into the pains and the why. So an application, they've clearly removed an objection to come through the form. You can almost just be like, gap, why? Oh, I understand, boom, is this urgent? Yeah, boom, go. The way you're gonna sell by chat on Instagram is just by asking a lot more questions. So let them come at you, acknowledge, mirror them, and then go, bum, bum, bum. Let them go in deeper. So by the end of it, you should almost have them to the point where they're like, can you send me the offer, bro? They're almost like pissed off with you.
Yeah, okay.
Like the more you don't need them, the more patient you are. And you're just being like a good doctor. You're just asking more questions and then you're just like, for fuck's sake, can you just give me some fucking medication now? Yeah? You should have asked them enough questions to make them like hate their current situation rather than just telling them. And then, yeah, bro, I'll send it over, boom, boom, boom. Let me know which option. And then,
do you know when somebody's giving you like generic answers, like, I just want to improve my confidence, and they won't go into the specifics?
I'd just tell them straight. If someone was just like, yeah, I want to be more confident, I'd be like, confident for what, bro? And then they'd be like, just more confident. I'm like, I'd just say it doesn't really sound like you want it, bro. I would just say that. The amount of times, oh my God, I was showing someone the other week, bro, you should see some of the conversations I've had with certain people. I call people the fuck out in conversations. Because like, right, if you've got this, think about it, right? This guy who's been generic, hypothetically, is he gonna buy? No. So if you really wanna help him, you're gonna have to make him uncomfortable. You're gonna have to show him a fucking reality of what your mindset looks like and how stupid his looks.
Yeah.
Right? be totally prepared. You're doing fucking God's work by putting him in an uncomfortable. Now, he again either doesn't buy, he won't going to buy anyway, but now he's like, for fuck's sake, it's so true. And it'll probably change his life still. And it may come back in a week or whatever. Or he'll block you. Who cares? He won't going to buy anyway. Or he'll be like, mate, for fuck's sake, you're so fucking right. I've had so many people where I'll be like, bro, in all honesty, what was someone saying to me? I had one recently. He bought brand, and he was like, he basically messaged me. He was like, yo, send me over the offer for brand, man. You've sold me. I'm like, okay. Asked him a few questions, sent him the offer, and he goes, man, you know what? Like, I think I'm gonna wait a few more months. I was like, to me, bro, it just sounds like you got no balls. I was like, you just told me you wanted to join, and now you're saying you need to wait a few months. And then I was like, how much money are you earning right now? And he was like, $2K a month, not enough. I says, it sounds to me just like you're just like being broke too much, bro. And I was like, do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, no. I says, I'm not surprised. And I was like, because you can't even pay for the life you want on your own, let alone the life for you and her together. And then he was like, fuck. And he was like, bro, give me 24 hours, I'll get the car. And he just paid, right? And for me, I was asking him questions on shit that I knew were his real deep down pains and desires to actually just help him take the action. And bro, now he's built his business, right? I would have, like, you can sound a bit cunty, but it's no different to, like, you know, sometimes you got a client in the program and you just got to tell them straight. You've got to be the same outside of your content. Also, there's a lot of trust because people are just like, because I called him like a wet cunt. I was like, bro, to me it sounds like you're transgender. I just laid into him, and he was just like, for fuck's sake, I've never been called a transgender before. And I was like, but like instantly then he's like, I trust this guy. He's just being bro to bro with me. Yeah. And he was like, for fuck's sake, I actually relate. Like, I actually trust it. He's not trying to sell me. But when you do this, if you got to almost be a chameleon. You got to, who am I selling to? What's their personality like? And even when you press their spring to like push them in the corner so they spring out, so they take action, like heating up I call it like if someone's on a drain and it's 20 degrees and their dream drain is over there, even if it's their dream drain, people don't go for their dreams, they get away from pain. You got to heat this fucking drain up. You got to put some flames under it, and then they'll go for the dream. You've always got to do it from the frame of not because I want your money, I'm going to give you pain. I'm giving you pain because I want you to fucking change your life. A bit more like, you see people like your Andy Elliott's and stuff, right? And they pressure people. But he isn't doing it because he just wants to be a cunt. He's doing it because he's like, I know this pain's what's going to move you. And as long as everything you do is from a place of serving, give people all the fucking pain they need to move. You're doing them an injustice not to be a good marketer, not to be a good salesman. The most authentic way to sell is understand the principles and sell by chat, but then just be a human voice. Say your mind. Say what you would say in your content.
Yeah.
You know, if you would say, bro, you're being a bitch in your reel, match that congruent. I always say everything from leads to sales to content to like website copy, it has to be congruent in every place. And then people feel at home. It's high trust. So that's what I would say here, right? Then I'd have a free thing. Do you have a free thing at the minute?
No.
This is what I would build. Something that's like crazy valuable. Like this guy who's 25 to 35, even within like 24 hours of hitting your page, he's like, I feel like I am missing out by not having this thing. Like I need this thing. And then I'd sell the need for it. Now, what could this be? This could be like a one-piece thing. Or it could be like a full mechanism explained. It could be you explaining your full mechanism and sharing like what, why, when, how it all works and the importance of it. Because then by the end of it, they're like, yeah, I should fucking go. And you can share transformations, testimonials in it on proof of how it's worked. It's almost like a little webinar pre-recorded. But again, just sit down, enjoy it, chill, speak like a human like you would in a YouTube. Or it's just like one piece. This could be like downloadable, could be just a document. It could be something so simple. like, what does my ICP want? You know, and just think about like, what do they want? Best way to do it is try loads of things, see which ones get the most. Like, you gotta almost like act and fail. Just some people, sometimes you'll build something. Here's what I would do with this. Complete honesty. Launch it. DM me for this, go to the link, fill out the type form, name, email, number for it. After 7 days, if you've had like 5 people do it, go fucking make it and then send it them.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And then you've got it for the future.
Yeah.
If no one fucking does it and you've marketed the shit out of it,
It's shit.
well, you've not wasted any time. It's good, don't make it. Make it after you've fucking got leads.
So with that, let's say for example, I could walk them through the complete breakdown of my program. So I could be like, this is the morning process, this is how we do the training.
Yeah, the breakdown of your mechanism. Yeah. Don't frame it as your program though. Frame it as like, don't be like, this is how my program works, because no one wants your program. What they want is a result for themselves.
Like this is how to get to 8% body
Yeah,
fat.
frame it in. I'm gonna help, this is how, this is the system to get to this outcome for this desire.
So this is how to get to 8% body fat or 10% body fat. So you've got, I don't want to be too generic, so you've got like unbreakable confidence or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you want
well, just speak to like, what did you want? Just try and speak it in your own language.
Okay.
But yeah, just test it. Send me a few ideas when you make them. Just send me it over, and I'll go, I don't really want it, or I'll go, I want it. But almost the easiest way to make something for free is be like, what would you almost get today? What would you almost want to download yourself right now yourself?
Yeah.
Like almost like if another fitness guy had it, what would you want yourself for your own fitness now? They fucking want it.
Yeah.
Go look around, like almost like ask, why did I want that thing? And just then put your own spin on shit. And then hand raises are easy. Just be like, let's say you're just doing something. You could be having a fucking, one of the highest ones I ever got, like the most amount of leads. I was in my office. I had this big jug on the table. It was some wacky color. And it had fucking like 10 supplements in it. It had like glutamine, apple cider vinegar, EAAs, electrolytes, L-tyrosine, loads of shit, methylene blue, loads of random shit in it. Just everything I have where it's like muscle, focus, hydration. And I used to just have it every day. And I'd be like, hands down, this is the one thing that gets me to like sell the why, sell the need. I have this every day to stay sharp and like, I feel elite. It's perfect after training, doesn't need much digestion, so focused for the whole 4 hours in the morning, and it is. That's why I have it. And if you want to know every single thing I put inside it, plus all the supplements I use alongside it during the day, post-training, while I'm working, for like just crazy level cognitive, just DM me the word juice. And everyone, bro, I got like fucking 100 and something just DMs. And then I had 100 people to speak to. So instead of outbounding, I always try and think, how can we make more people apply so you can have a conversation? How can we make more people come get something for free? So then we can go, hey, just seeing you got the free thing, here it is. Just out of curiosity right now, what's your primary objective? Is it losing body fat or building? Then sell by chat.
Yeah.
Right, take them through the same process. Hand raiser, yo, just sending over the thing, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Which way? Start with a this or that, and then ask personalized questions with the principles inside that video. That way I would then always focus on how can I get more of these for my conversations every day. Then I would be like, send 20 outbounds, send 50 outbounds. Primary focus, build the machine that creates inbounds. And then if you got no inbounds or you got no leads to follow up or whatever, well then I would just go through your stories, go who's liking your stuff, and be like, all I do, I don't put satas and stuff in. All I do is like, if I've gone through everything and I've got like, I'm just sat on the sofa or sunbathing, but I'm like, I fucking want to work more. I'll just open my phone, I'll go in Instagram and I'll be like, oh, I've seen him like a couple of my stories. I know I'd be really, like always come from the frame of not so you can take, but you're like, I know I could help that guy with something I've got. So if you're looking at a guy and he's viewing your stuff And you're like, I know I could fucking get him and shoot him a message. And just always shoot the message from the right place. If people don't receive it right, let them fucking go.
Yeah.
But if you always send the message from the right place, you're fucking doing the right thing. Just try and help as many people. The easiest way is to be high leverage and help them by getting them through here. But then just go and help some people. I just say it's like snipering. Don't go blast to hit a number. I'm not a fan of, hit 20 every day. I almost would rather a good week for me is when I didn't have to send a DM because I had too much of this.
Yeah.
I've had so many inbounds, I didn't even have time to go work on the low leverage stuff. That's like a last resort. Does it mean it's bad? No. Maybe it could be last resort because you were working 16 hours in the day and you've still got time. Cool. But then just sniper it and from a good place. And that's kind of the order I would do all of that and then sell by chat. Pretty easy. But for you, I would try and make at least one of those a week, build out something for free, market it first, optimize that page. To get more people to that, I would probably do a minimum of 2 CTAs a week on stories. And then in your videos, obviously you're going to be teaching your mechanism. And I would also just make sure that you've got product. People need to know you've got a product.
Yeah.
So an easy way to do, I'm just always really authentic with it. I could be like probably even right now while we've been speaking, I was talking about how I was doing sell by chat and there was that guy and I was like, you're fucking transgender. Well, I would almost be a bit like that in a video if I was making a YouTube video and I'm kind of just freestyling through it. And then I could be like this is exactly what I would do if I was trying to get to this point. And I might just be like, or I might be like, if I had to make 10K in a day, this is what I would do. Oh, in fact, look, if you look at my Stripe, I just made 10. And it'd be like and then I might be like, this is exactly what I teach inside brand. Or this client actually just messaged me this. And I would just what's truth in my life right now that I can push out for them to kind of, it's almost like a quick fire testimonial, brand awareness. But as opposed to doing these presentations on it and being like, I'm a fitness coach, just fucking,
Yeah.
It's clear. It's like, I know you are from just how you're communicating. I'm not going to come out and be like, guys, I'm a brand mentor. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
People can gather because I'm talking about shit. Tell me you got a girlfriend without telling me. They can fucking gather it. So I would just lean on that. Do you have any other quick questions you want to go through?
No, that kind of makes sense to me there. Then in terms of if there is no applications, obviously just go on to stories and come from a place of service.
Yeah, every single day, start with applications first, then go down to free leads, then go down to hand raises in that order. Go through each level. Even after applications, before applications, what I would do is people I've sent offers to. So if I sent an offer to someone yesterday or 2 people who haven't closed yet, I would go to those first. And I might just send them a message like, yo, Dean, where do you want to go from here, bro?
Yeah.
Then I'd go to my applications because start closest to the sale. Who is closer? The person with the offer is closer than the application. And I kind of work back.
I'm saying that in regards of following up with somebody that you've sent the offer to. So there's a guy I didn't chat maybe 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Ran him through the sell by chat. Sent him the offer. And he's like, yeah, good to go. And I could see him trying to pay on Stripe. And I was blocked twice. And
Rejecting. Do you have a different payment processor?
Just Stripe.
Make something else. I've got banks. I've had this so many times. He's probably trying to pay on a credit card maybe.
Yeah.
I would even just, do you have a Wise account? Just try and send him a Wise link. Just try and make it, because it does happen, bro, sometimes. You never want to miss a sale because your process is shit, and it doesn't allow, my Dubai one allows nothing. So I've got banks in Hong Kong for some clients.
Yeah.
I've got fucking banks online. I've got crypto people pay with. I'm I am not letting you get in because I can't receive it. So just try and.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't even think of that to be fucking PayPal, Revolut, anything.
Yeah, anything, bro. Take the money in any way, shape or form. Yeah.
In that regard then, I'd sent him the payment link. He tried to pay it. It wouldn't go through. He said, I'm going to sort it out in the morning. The next day came. He said he wanted to start on Monday. And then I texted him yesterday. I said, look, boy, you ready to get the ball rolling for today? But he hasn't opened the message yet. So in that case, would you follow up again?
Get another payment option, and then be like, where do you want to go from here, bro? I've sorted you a different payment route if this is easier for you. But I would almost solve his problem first for him. And then if he's like, oh, Monday, I'd be like, bro, I always would say something like, 100% bro, I want to get you going on Monday. With kind of the guys I've got setting up at the minute, we're going to kind of need like 3 days to get everything built out, set up, and then you'll be ready to go for Monday.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's like, if he signs up on Monday, he's not getting it on Monday.
Yeah.
And even if you could do it on Monday, don't fucking do it on Monday.
Yeah.
Like, don't be people's bitch. Like, I have a time where I'm like, this is when I'll do it every week if I was doing that, you know? And yeah, it's, people can fucking do that. Just, it's not difficult. But yeah, one thing that you want to do is like remove obstacles that they got to go through. Any friction that you find in your business, just try and remove it. Yeah. Even when you're even a quick one actually, when you're in the sales process, is a bit of psychology, which I call, you do it in like high level VSLs, but like it's called help them buy. And it's more just like allow them to see what the next steps look like. So when you send, just before you send over the offer, one thing you can do, you can just send a voice note. You'd be like, cool bro, I'm gonna shoot you over the offer. Let me know which option works. And once you know which one you wanna go for, or whether you wanna do 3, 6, 12 months, whatever, I'll then, once that Stripe link goes through, what I'll do is I'll get you an email sent over. It'll have your onboarding link. You'll come into my app. You'll fill that out. And then over the next 3 days, I'll get everything built out. You'll receive that all over. And then I'll send you a full thing on da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And what it's done is it's pre-framed them psychologically for like everything that's going to happen after. Because people can have this, what happens when I press pay? Is there going to be like a 12-hour delay, a 2-day delay? Is something like, even if, like, what's the difference, bro? 12 hours, 0, they're getting it, right? But that can be, for some people, enough procrastination to just not do it. So just removing any friction in advance is always a key. Yeah, just try and sort another quick payment processor, I'd say. Sick. All good?
All good.
Easy. This will get you easy 25K. Just run this, bro. And then from there, you can do a few things with offers and traffic, but if you compound this and you just stay heavy on conversations by creating conversations inbound, I think a big thing for you is just going to be just your messaging, who you're speaking to.
Yeah,
in
big
all
time.
honesty.
Yeah.
Like just almost, here's one little tip I would say, bro. Have a pre-video priming routine where you like, before you ever allow yourself to write a caption, before you ever allow yourself to post a post, film a reel, film a YouTube, almost have like your fucking screensaver as the guy you're gonna speak to. Just remind yourself who the fuck the guy is you're gonna speak to before you go out and start subconsciously broadcasting to this different, wider guy.
Yeah.
You know, because it seems more comfortable. Because it's like, and then people sometimes are like, oh, well, I don't know how it can be authentic because I'm changing ICP. The easiest frame I think about is like, let's say you, right? You were going to speak to, hypothetically, a mom, a grandma, your daughter, your friend. You're going to speak to every single one of those people differently, but it's still you, right? Just understand who it is and then just give the you would give to that person. That's kind of the easiest frame I think about.
Yeah.
And just like naturally, if you were going to one-on-one conversation with them, like my YouTubes are so like how I just speak with you right now, because that's how I'd speak, but I could speak to a different ICP, like an 18-year-old, the conversation would not go like this. I would be quite compressive with them just because of who I'm speaking to, you know? You just got to understand, like, are you in a calm, peaceful, authentic, leading way? With your audience, I think you just want to be very mutually, same line. You don't need You know, like
Yeah.
this 25 to 35-year-old guy, almost like if you go into the gym, you have a conversation with let's say me and you bumped into each other in the gym. It's pretty much your conversational tone.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's one thing that I was trying to figure out as well. It's like, before, when I didn't have someone that I was speaking to specifically, I'd be like, what kind of tone am I going to give across here? But say if I talk in more of just like a FaceTime tone, I feel like the people that are, say, liking it and engaging with it are more so ICP related.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's important because it's like you've just named them without naming them. The easiest way to get the right people listening is just speak as if you know it's them already, and they'll listen. But yeah, quick way to do it is like, if you've got one of those guys in your business now and he doesn't currently have a call, say, bro, let's do a call a month. Just give him a call a month. And even a call a week if you want. Say, I want to upgrade you, bro. Because it'll just really remind you, like, what questions is he asking? How are we speaking? How do I deliver the solutions to him? I'm always a big fan of when you can do more one-on-one, even if they're not in it, like, do that, because it's just great for your own marketing.
Yeah.
You know, and who are you like, it's just one of the best things you can do. So if you've got people in the program, find that person. If not, find someone who is the guy you'd like to sell it to, and how do you speak with him?
Makes sense.
You know, that's why you mentioned earlier, like the Wes Watsons, like quite like this. It's because he's speaking to fucking bums who have been in prison, you know, who are just fucking around, and he's compressing them, and they're fucking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but then if I go on the phone with him, it's a different. It's almost like a different character, but it's not like that character was put on. It was him to that ICP, but then if I speak with him, and I can't now obviously, but it's just like this. But most people don't see, you know, when people, every person you know has loads of different sides, and it's not that they're changing who they are, it's just that it's a different voice to who they're speaking to. You just got to get clear on who that is, really.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing now for me.
Yeah. Every day, just get clear on it every single day, bro.
Yeah.